Welcome back, folks. The Huskies winning this one 2-1 on a walk-off sacrifice fly from J.D. Rogers. A big win for the Huskies as they win their 4th in a row and now advance to 7-8 on the second half and 26-22 overall. I'm Kyle Morrison here with my broadcast partner, Evan Popalis. What a big win for the Huskies, Evan. It was a game that was very low scoring. The Huskies fell behind 1-0. It looked like they could get nothing going with runners in scoring position, but then the St. Cloud Rocks, who rarely make any mistakes, actually made some really critical errors towards the end of the game that helped the Huskies win this one 2-1.
Yeah, it felt like an odd game today as the Rocks have 2 errors in the contest. #1 fielding percentage team in the league. Was not expecting to see that today, and it was definitely a St. Cloud type of ball game. 2-1 the final score, but the Huskies getting the edge in this one over the Rocks. Got the season series to 3-2. I mean, give credit to Duluth. I mean, they had opportunities early. They didn't get it to go their way, but they stayed in it. They fell behind by that 1 run and eventually were able to find 2 unanswered and the huge one in the bottom of the 9th.
Well, J.D. Rogers, he was the hero tonight, a sacrifice fly that ultimately won the game 2-1. Our correspondent, Wyatt Kopelman, is down on the field with J.D. for a post-game conversation.
Thank you very much, guys. The Huskies coming away victorious 2-1 here at Wade Stadium to start a series against the St. Cloud Rocks. Joined alongside Huskies center fielder J.D. Rogers, Wyatt Kopelman here. Now, J.D., you had yet to reach base on a hit today. What was going through your mind in that kind of at-bat?
Just try to execute, try to win the ball game. You had bases loaded, 1 out. There was a good scenario where you can get a ball up in the air, and got a pitch where I can hit and execute that. Just try to put a good swing on it, just get it up in the air so the guy on third can tag up and we can win the ball game. So.
Now, you guys had trailed going into the 7th inning there. You guys were able to get a run off an RBI base hit from Jonathan Vastine, a teammate of yours at Vanderbilt. What does that say about him and being able to set the standard here?
No, I mean, that's the ability that he has. He has the ability to change the game and put up a run so we can, put ourselves in a position to win this ball game. But yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised what he did. He's been doing that all year. So, it was great to see and definitely helped the team out for sure.
Now, you guys were facing a tough starter out there today for St. Cloud as a pitcher's duel until you guys were able to finally get the last burst of energy you guys needed with a sacrifice fly. What does a win like this say for you guys going to the series finale tomorrow?
No, it's great. It puts us in a great spot. A lot of momentum will be going into tomorrow. We'll have a lot of confidence going throughout tomorrow. All these guys will battle again tomorrow. We'll get back at it and excited to play these guys again.
The Huskies back for Game 2 tomorrow. J.D. Rogers hitting the sacrifice fly walk-off for the Huskies, victorious here in Game 1. For J.D. Rogers, I'm Wyatt Kopelman, sending it back upstairs to you guys.
Thank you so much, Wyatt, for that fantastic interview. Well, we talked about it. It was a low-scoring game. And I do want to shout out the pitching for the Huskies today. Jake Combs went out there and had an absolutely fantastic performance. His best start of the year so far, and what have been 3 pretty good outings for the Huskies this year.
Isn't that the worst part of a pitcher's duel is those 2 guys that made the start do not get a decision in the game? Really felt like Jake Combs, any other game on any other day, he was going to be the winning pitcher in tonight's contest. He was fantastic. And then setting up the rest of the bullpen for the Huskies, Casillas comes in later on and really settling things in there. And then Dylan Hill working through some stuff in the 9th as well to set up Duluth's offense for the bottom half of the 9th inning. Give credit on both sides, though. Joseph Brandon, he was fantastic for St. Cloud. Reliever turned starter. Excellent today. I mean, you could have given either starting pitcher the win in this contest. Too bad neither of them get that opportunity. It was a great game overall.
And how good was Manny Casillas today? I think that is going to be one of those storylines in this game that's going to be not noticed enough. Manny Casillas, he's had 5 straight scoreless innings, and he looked fantastic in the 7th and the 8th today. He gave up 2 hits, but he ultimately struck out 2 and got some big outs for the Huskies that ultimately kept the game tied at 1-1.
Yeah, he feels like a bridge reliever somewhat in my eyes, whether it's a 6th and 7th, maybe a setup guy potentially for Marcus Pointer and his squad coming out of the pen. He doesn't necessarily blow you away with the speed, but that breaking ball is fantastic out of the left arm of the southpaw. He can really paint it on the the outside corner to right-handed batters, but at the same time, we saw it earlier in today's contest where he brought it right inside to a right-hander, makes him go fishing. He can't find it. So just great stuff out of Casillas and the whole pitching staff for the Huskies, and generally on both sides. Martinez ran into a little bit of danger there in the ninth and eventually could not work his way out of it as the Huskies were just too much, and that's how they eventually prevail to get their 4th straight win of the season. And this is coming at a big part in the year, too. This is a tough schedule right now for Duluth because it was a late arrival back this morning, and then they settle in today and take on one of the best in all the Northwoods League and find victory.
Well, speaking of pitching and Jake Combs, let's throw it to our highlights here. We're going to start off here with 2 highlights of Jake Combs striking out 2 guys in the first inning. He really got off to a good start right off the bat.
Yeah, he did. Look at those. Right on the outside corner, calm, cool, and collective. Then we're going to see a little dribbler over here. Campbell trying to get his feet back under him, but gets the tag by Peyton Powell. Huge play.
Yes, and then we're going to see a strikeout here to Hudson Sapp. Really a great day out there for Joseph Brandon. He looks absolutely fantastic. And then Christian Campbell, he had a rough day with the glove, but this one, a nice play, keeping his composure even though he fell on his back.
I think even though he didn't mean to slip, that huge play there really got some confidence going for him. And how about on the other side, Worthington? He'll make the play as well, so shortstops matching each other on the defensive side of things.
In the latter half of the game, we finally saw the offenses break through. Here's a double from Ethan Mann. He would ultimately come around to score the St. Cloud Rock's only run in the 6th inning.
Yeah, you really thought, how would this game go? Who would score the first run? That double comes into play. Combs gets himself into a little bit of a jam, and then a wild pitch here on the slider getting back to the backstop. You were wondering if that was going to be the only run of the game. It's not the case.
And give Jake Combs credit. Despite giving up that 1 run, he kept his composure and was able to strike out Trevor Austin to keep the game at 1-0. Joseph Brandon, he just kept on dealing 6 strong innings, but the Huskies finally broke through here on a Jonathan Vastine RBI single in the bottom of the 7th. An error on Carson Keithley in right field, allowing Devin Hurdle to score. It made it 1-1.
Yeah, that's really going to be a tough pill to swallow later in this game. But right here, we see a potential 6-4-3 double play. Goes by the wayside as Peyton Powell comes off the back, but still a nice play right there by Campbell. Then this throwdown right here, not in time to get Jared Medham, able to keep that left hand on the bag.
And then, of course, the biggest play of the game, the play that ultimately won the whole thing, as Devin Hurdle here, you're going to see him grounded over to third base. Hopefully he's safe at first. It was this collection of hits and stuff that ultimately allowed J.D. Rogers to get the sacrifice fly and knock in Jared Medham for a 2-1 win for the Duluth Huskies. What a game here in Duluth on this Saturday afternoon. The Huskies, well, the skis are hot. Once again, they have won 5 of their last 7. They have won 4 in a row, and we're starting to see that team that we saw in the first half win that first half championship start to come back after struggling quite a bit at the beginning of the second half.
Yeah, and it feels like it's a whole team effort right now, a whole bunch of guys putting their parts in. Maybe the starting pitching in the first half is stronger than what the Huskies have here on the back 9 of the season, but these guys are really putting the work in and really emphasizing the small things, being successful on the mound. And then the bats, they're back to complimentary hitting. I mean, normally the Huskies, to start this second half of the season, they were just getting some guys on base, but no one else was following that up and being able to bring guys home. But as of late during this 4-game stretch where the Huskies have been just finding victory after victory, there have been a ton of hits overall. This is the first time during the 4-game win streak, however, that they haven't reached 10 hits, finishing today with 8. But when you get a win, that's all that matters.
Give Marcus Pointer credit. He was tasked with an almost impossible task of trying to replace 3 guys who were very key to the Huskies winning that first half championship in Jake Hamilton, Pat Miner, and Harrison Kryling. And although he hasn't completely replaced them, he's found some guys to give him quality innings. Jake Combs looked absolutely fantastic today. We've seen Mason Burns give the Huskies some good starts. The guy tomorrow, Alex Potter, he's been absolutely fantastic for the Huskies. So Marcus Pointer doing what good managers do and finding solutions to problems.
Yeah, fresh faces coming in for the Huskies in the starting rotation here in half number 2. And so far, they've been really good. Everyone just watch what Jake Combs did today. That was fantastic. Curious to see if we have another pitcher's duel tomorrow with a couple of good guys in Potter and Battaglia expected to go for their respective sides. So Marcus Pointer and his squad, they've done a fantastic job really setting up Duluth to be successful here in the second half. Once they've gotten their feet under them, it seems like they found it.
Well, you heard it from my partner first. Potter and Battaglia tomorrow. Two guys who are really, I don't know if there's a lot of people in the Northwoods League who are pitching better than those two guys. We're in for quite a pitcher's duel again tomorrow probably as these two teams connect again for Game 2 of this 4-game home-and-home series. This one ends in a 2-1 win for the Huskies, a walk-off for the Huskies as they make their hometown fans very, very happy. Once again, I would like to thank all of you for joining us and giving us just a bit of your Saturday afternoon. For my broadcast partner, Evan Popalis, I'm Kyle Morrison. We will see you tomorrow for another broadcast in the Northwoods League Baseball Network at the same time, 3:05 p.m. Rocks and Huskies, these two great teams will connect once again. Please come on and join us for another good baseball game. I wish you all a very, very pleasant, good evening, and thank you for watching the Northwoods League Baseball Network.